Anton's dad, your lovely husband, Tom, tell us about that and how you met and the circumstances around that. Find this fascinating.
Bunny Carr, who spotted me in the first programme, had kind of followed me all through, and I was appearing on other programmes. And then he became the director of the Catholic Communications Centre, top of Booterstown Avenue, which was teaching nuns and priests how to cope with radio and television. And he rang me this day and said, "Terry, I want you to come and assess parish priests doing sermons." And I said, "Bunny, I know shag all about sermons and not much about parish priests." He said, "You'll be grand. I'll put in one of my senior lecturers to watch you." So that's fine. So I'm dealing with these incredibly old, they must have been at least 50, parish priests. And this guy comes in at the back in full priestly regalia, Beatles haircut. And he does, do you know that gesture that says, "Don't acknowledge me, I'm not relevant"? And he sits at the back. And then I'm assessing a parish priest who has done a sermon it's kind of bullying.
Right.
And I said to him, do you need to be that aggressive with the congregation? And he got livid with me. And he said, "The good Lord told us to be the shepherds of his flock." And I said, "Yeah, not the sheepdogs." And the guy at the back got up and left. And then, oh, Mother of God, now I'm in total trouble.
Again.
And the parish priest looked at me and he said, "Can you teach me not to be a sheepdog? Because I've been one for a long time." And I thought, oh my God, what I can't do with you, you wonderful open person. But when it came to the coffee break, I went down to Bunny's office and said, "Your senior guy walked out." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You didn't need any supervision, that you were grand." And that was Father Tom Savage.
Yeah.
And he told me afterwards that he fell in love with me at that moment, watching me on that first day. Took me a long bit longer. I was maybe 5 weeks.
Incredible. And in that day and age as well. Because I know you talk about it as well, that he proposed to you, having never even kissed him, I've never even touched anything like that.
That's right.
But even in terms of a relationship with a priest, how did that, what was the response to it within your family, in the community, in the priesthood?
I think both of our families were horrified. My father didn't talk to me for nearly 3 years.
Really?
He gave me a Christmas present. On Christmas morning, one Christmas, I came down, there was a package beside my plate, and when I opened it, it was a copy of a book called The Imitation of Christ by Thomas à Kempis, and it was inscribed to my former daughter.
Oh my goodness.
He actually felt so strongly about it that he didn't want me as his daughter anymore. On the other hand, 6 weeks before we got married, my father came to me and said, "I've made a great mistake, and if you will let me, I will give you away on the day of your wedding."
That must have been such a relief for you, was it? Yeah.
It was just
him
so
back in the
nice to...
fold.
And my husband always maintained that suffering can lead to great happiness, that once you've surmounted, as we had, those 3 years of misery, God, we were so happy it was disgraceful.
Terry, do you know, we haven't even scratched the surface because your career with Communications Clinic, obviously, with Taoiseachs and the advice you've given over the years. Can you come back and tell us part 2 of the interview? Because we certainly need a part 2 of this.
There's going to be a part 2 to the book as well, isn't there? That a lot of the political stuff too. But in this, I mean, the stories even... Tell everybody about Tedster, Anton's favourite toy and stuff, so I'm sure you love that.
Yeah, Tedster, yeah. Terry Prone, Caution to the Wind, great read, fascinating. A searingly honest memoir, says Matt Cooper. There you go. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Congratulations to you, Terry.